How do you buy a house in San Jose? Are you thinking about your home buying journey and wondering what steps you should follow? Well, stay tuned. We're getting into the details today and all the resources we have to help you get started. Hi, I'm Theresa Wellman with Homeowner Experienced Real Estate. Today we're talking about the steps to buy a house in San Jose, and we're going to reference our home buyer guide. So if you haven't checked that out before, definitely look at the link below in this description. But I'm also going to show you how to get there quickly from our website. So if you go to homeownerexperience.com and you click this tips to buy, you're going to be taken right into this home buyer guide. You can also find it under the buyer resources, buying a house step by step. Okay, so this video is focused on phase 3. We've already covered the first 2 phases. Phase 1, research and prepare. Phase 2, setting up your team with an agent and a lender. Phase 3 today is talking about narrowing down your focus and going home shopping. Okay, so we've now integrated into this home buyer guide these quick links. So we're going to jump right down to phase 3 so that you can see the resources here provided, and we'll guide you through those. So now that you've done your research, you've formed a team, what's next? Well, it's really time to narrow down your home shopping focus of what you need, what fits your budget, and go shopping. So first, you're gonna really work with your agent to create an ideal property profile. And I recommend that you talk through the top 3 priorities. Buyers I often work with have a hard time narrowing down that list, but I will tell you, number 1, inventory in San Jose is very small and low. Number 2, it is pricey here to buy a home, and what you get for the money it can be quite shocking. So it's really important to focus on your top 3 priority and put everything in perspective if you want to become a home buyer here in San Jose. For example, the top 3 may be you need at least 3 bedrooms, you want an attached garage, and you need to be 30 minutes from the office. Those could be your requirements. I often have people say that they really need a yard, they want great schools, and then there's a minimum number of bedrooms. So really, ultimately focusing on the top priority items is really important for setting up your home search. Then there's other things that would be wants that of course you want to look for if possible, but when there's very limited inventory choices, you're going to find that it might be hard to get all those wants, and some of those items are going to be cosmetic or things you can fix over time, so you should plan for that accordingly. Okay. So once you've gotten the basics down, you really need to start driving through the neighborhoods and making sure you are comfortable with all the neighborhoods that are coming up in your search. If not, it's time to start narrowing that search down and eliminating certain areas so that you can be hyper-focused on the areas you're looking for. Now, be careful here is you don't want to narrow it down too far where you have no options anymore. Right now, I'm recording this video in the middle of 2023, and inventory is at a record low we've never seen before in Silicon Valley. So you've got to be careful if you do have plans to buy a home to not narrow out all of your options. So really keeping those 3 criteria as top priority and not narrowing out too many neighborhoods. Or maybe adjusting your budget if that's possible as well, or adjusting some of those criteria to get you some options to look at. Once you've really narrowed that down, you want to study the hyper-local market. Number 1, know how many times the option you're looking for is coming up. Is it coming up once a month, multiple times a month? Is it only coming up a couple times a year? If you're really looking for a specific property, then you need to be prepared and ready as soon as that property comes on, and maybe those wants are going to be subtracted off your list because you just have to realize what your needs just don't come very often. For example, I have some clients looking for larger homes in Almaden Valley with very specific schools. Those don't always come up very often, so you have to be willing to, if that is your top priority, sacrifice on some of the other things to make it work. Okay. Once you're studying the hyperlocal market, if you click this link here on our page, it's going to take you to the San Jose housing market data. And what I want to point out is down here in the actual raw data, you can modify this, but you should be doing this with your agent, going through actual data to understand what's going on with the current market. With the May 2023 closed sales in all of San Jose single family homes, so this is single family homes, you can look at this title here, the average is 5.7% over. So you need to consider that in your budget, that you're ready to be competitive. And there's just not a lot of options available in all of San Jose, which has over 1 million people. There is 230 homes for sale. What? That's, put it in perspective, That's how competitive the market is, right? So you can narrow this down to a particular neighborhood. For example, you want to look in Cambrian. So what does the stats look like in Cambrian? You can go ahead and pull that information up. Look at Cambrian is even more competitive at an average of 7.5% over asking, partially because that median price point is quite attractive for the good schools in the area. So just being aware of these stats are going to help prepare you for what you can see when a property, or for the market, and how to prepare an offer when the right option comes up for you, so that you can not miss an opportunity by not being prepared to write the right offer for the house. Okay, so that's a really important variable in this phase 3, really studying. It's also time to take your loan pre-approval letter all the way through underwriting. So in phase 2, you should have identified your lender, started the pre-approval process. Phase 3, we're going to now have that pre-approval letter to start shopping, but you want to take it to the next level and get full underwritten approval for 2 reasons. First off, take away any risk that you're getting the loan so that when you make an offer, you're confident in the financing. Second is, when you find a property, you can put all your focus on studying the inspections and reports, because again, it's competitive, the market moves fast. You want to put all your focus on the specific house to make sure it's a right fit and not worry about the loan. So this is a really critical step here in San Jose, and quite different than other places of the country, how they operate. Okay, once you've got your full pre-approval letter and your full underwritten letter in hand, you're more prepared to minimize or eliminate contingencies to be competitive in the market. So hopefully that helps you understand phase 3 of preparing and narrowing your search. Once you identify a house that you want to make an offer on, you're going to jump into phase 4, and we're going to cover that next. When you get serious about finding the next home, even if it's 3 to 6 months away, I recommend a buyer consultation. People often ask me tips and tricks for navigating the home buying process, and this buyer consultation meeting is focused on planning and educating you with insider tips. We enjoy putting the best plan together with you to create the best outcome. When we meet, these are things you can expect, things that my best clients say they really appreciated. First off, insider tips for the loan process and our list of favorite lenders, discussion of your purchase power and budget so you understand how banks determine the loan amounts. Third, help you build your ideal property profile with your budget in mind, and also talk through the best tools to use and how to avoid common mistakes. And really valuable is we help you make a strategic plan and timeline to meet your goals. We'll also discuss different neighborhoods and cities and address your questions in this meeting. If these insider tips are what you're looking for, schedule a free buyer consultation with us, either in person or on Zoom. Check out the link below. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, please check out this home buyer guide for detailed resources and references to help you through this process. We look forward to connecting and look forward to interviewing for the job to help you buy a home in San Jose.